Well, good morning, everybody. This is Robin. How are you guys doing? Good morning. I have to tell you all, I I almost missed the live this morning. I know. I know. How sad is that? How sad is that? How is everybody? Hello, Miss Cheryl. Hello. I'm trying to get this set so I can get the messages right. Oh, and now I've got a sneeze coming. Here comes the sneeze. Here comes the sneeze. Excuse me. Oh, hello, Miss Mary. Hello. Hi, everyone. I got up late. I was so tired. I got up late and I was standing over the coffee pot making the coffee. And I glanced up at the clock and I'm like, oh, it is 7:00 and I've got my live this morning. I almost forgot about it, but here I am. I was looking at my shirt just now, because all I could see was the blue. I thought, is my shirt on backwards? Is it going to be one of those kind of days? It is. It's going to be one of those kind of days. It is. Oh, man. Got all my lights on. I can't hardly see. Maybe that'll help. I have 2 cups of coffee over here, just in case. I know I won't get through both of them. Miss Mary, Miss Cheryl, what are you guys drinking this morning? Well, Cheryl, it's middle of the night for you. Middle of the night for you. So what are you guys drinking? Oh my gosh. And I have to work tomorrow morning. I have to be on the job site at 5:30 in the morning tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Why do I agree to these things? It sounds like such a good idea when I'm setting this stuff up. Tea for Miss Cheryl. That sounds good. Tea sounds really good.
Just go to bed.
Okay. So, what is going on? We are plugging along with this thing. We are. So we should have some things done. We should have done. I gotta get this stuff moved around here. I gotta get this moved because that's the wrong project. I've got it. I got my project right here. I've got it right here. I just got it buried a little bit. Okay. Water. Good girl, Mary. Good girl. Okay. So last week we did this. And I got my border on it. So this is the block with, I crocheted 2 rows of, I did a row of single crochet, half double crochet, and then double crochet. And what I've decided to do, because I don't want to run out of yarn for my border, I've only got the 1 ball. So what I'm doing is I'm going to do the half double and the single and the half double in the color yarn of the block. And I'm sure I'll have plenty of yarn for that because I've added on the 2 extra colors. Oh, out of the room. And then, so there'll be plenty of yarn for those. And then I just found a little tiny bit of a end there. And then just the double crochet, I'm going to use the border yarn. And I'll have plenty of that because just 1 row. So that won't be a problem. And then when I do my connecting, I'll be using the border yarn for that. So I'll use this to connect the blocks and then for my outside border. And it was funny. It just looked, the color almost looked, it really blended this time. So I think that's going to work out. So this was the block before. And then the one that we did last week was this one. This is the front. And I haven't even finished. I started my border, haven't finished my border. Still working on that, but it's coming along nicely. I'm working on my half doubles. And obviously I haven't blocked everything yet. I'll do that on our catch-up week, which is coming up. I think it ends up being pretty much the first week of each month. Okay, so this is the one that we did. And I did not struggle with this, except I had a little bit of problem of keeping track of where I was because we bounced around a little bit in the pattern. And when I got up here, I was, I think I went one too many rows. So I just stopped. And it measured up just right. Yeah, because this one's just a little bit bigger than my other ones. And I'm like, I think I'm supposed to be done now. But it measured up just right, so I just quit. So that one's done. And I'm working on, and then I've got somehow, and I did it in 2 blocks. Somehow I ended up with, in my center thing, I ended up with a purl when I should have had a knit. Twice I did that. Actually, I've done it in several places. So I don't know what I did there. But we're just not going to worry about it, is what we're going to do. In fact, this block is quite a mess now that I look at it. It is quite a mess. And it wasn't that difficult of a block. Several places in this rib section, I can see there is a purl where there should have been a knit. So I don't know what the dealio is there. Good Lord. Well, I hope your guys's went better than good. I'm glad it looks okay on camera, because up close it does not. This is going to be one of those don't look that close sort of things. But once you get that edging on there, I really like the way it looks with that edging. I think it really adds to it. It was easy to get off count with this block. It was easy to get off count, and it was hard. It was easy for me to get off count when I was doing my multiples on the rows. I think I had more problems with my row multiples on this one than on any other block that we've done. For sure. But all together, and I don't think I can I do this? Maybe I can do this. Maybe I can hook these together. I can use this. I'll use my crochet hook. Kind of like a shawl pin here. And we'll see what this is going to look like. Hooked together to the bottom of this thingy. Get out our Harry Potter thing. I've got so many strings. I keep thinking I'm going to use these when I'm hooking things together. Oh, good. So this was our top one. Yes. Let's see if I can. Do I have another? Pretty sure there's a crochet hook around here somewhere. Oh, this one may not work, but we'll give it a try. There we go. So this is what it's going to look like. This is what it's going to look like. This is what it's going to look like when I get it sewn together. That's what the first row is going to look like. I'm liking it. I love the colors. Oh man, I love the colors. So different from what I'm used to, but I like fall colors. I like fall colors. And boy, oh boy, adding those rounds to the squares just gave it that extra sizing that I needed it to be. So I'm very, very happy with the size now. Very happy with the size. I can work on that while we sit and talk. Yeah, these colors. Okay, so Mary's just finished the bottom of border of square 6. Oh my. So then, Mary, you have finished the diamond square? You are ahead of the game. Look at you. And I know Cheryl's way, way ahead. Cheryl has jumped way ahead. So did anybody have problems with this one? This would be the one we'd be finishing up this week, right? No, I don't have green. The original 4 colors were the pumpkin, the crimson, the goldenrod, and the multicolor. And then I added the gray and the beige. Okay. So now this week we're going to do the diamond. And I have not started it. I expected that I was going to start it this week, and I did not. It was another very, very busy week for me. Some days I worked both jobs. Yesterday, I worked both jobs. I was out of the house at 7:30 in the morning, did not get home till almost 11 o'clock last night. And as you can see, I'm starting to show the wear and tear. Like I said, I literally, and it wasn't that I was running late for the video. I literally forgot that I had, because I always set my alarm just to make sure I am up and ready to go. I literally forgot that there was a live this morning. I was standing there making the coffee, and I just looked up at the clock. If I hadn't glanced up at the clock and realized the time, it wouldn't even have clicked with me that I had a live this morning. Oh my Lord. So it was a really good thing that we bumped this back to 7:30. And you probably noticed that I remembered that we changed the time, but I didn't even remember to change the time until I was standing there making the coffee. I'm like, in my pajamas with my hair all askew. Not that it looks much better now, but it was a good thing we did that. Or we'd be sitting here with me in my jammies. So, yeah. Okay, so this week we're going to be making the diamond block, and it is called, what is it called? It is called Diamonds on Stockinette. And mine gets to be done in the pumpkin, which makes me happy because I love this color. I love this color. Let me dig out. I'm sure I've got it printed. I do. It's right here. So this is the square we're going to be making this week. Diamonds on Stockinette. And it looks like some people's have already got it finished. Now this is a week when we're casting on 32. That is the one kind of tricky thing during the weeks. Some weeks we're casting on 32. Sometimes it's 33. And it looks like, it looks like we're going to need to be super careful of our counting. So I'm going to have to really pay attention on this one. And I recall when I was looking at this, wishing that we had a chart for this one, because I think a chart would have made it much easier. Now, Miss Cheryl said, and I got to find it. Miss Cheryl said there were some tricks on this. Here we go. Let me take a look. Let's see what she told us. Wow, I talked a lot this week. Okay, Miss Cheryl. This is her block in the pretty marigold. It's beautiful, like everything she does. And what she said was, now I can't get out of it. With square 6, the pattern says to end on row 1 or row 7. My square was way too short after row 1 and way too long after row 7. So I opted to end on row 5 and work one less row of the border. As you can see, my last diamond is not complete. I don't care. I love that. I love that attitude. And as you can see, I'm living that attitude with this project. I don't care. This is a learning project. And one of the things we are learning is how to adjust to problems. And are we adjusting in this thing. And I'll tell you what, Miss Cheryl, I am holding yours up next to the pattern, and I do not see one bit of difference. You guys tell me. This is hers, and this is the pattern. Do you see one bit of difference there? No, not one bit of difference. Nothing. It looks identical. So this is what she's suggesting. As you're getting close to in that last bit, let me put this down. When you're getting up to this last bit, this last thing here, start measuring pretty much every row till you get to what is it? The 5.5 inches. I kind of have that seared into my brain. 5.5 inches. When you get to that last row, start measuring every row. And when you get to the 5.5 inches, quit knitting. You're done. Or do one more row so that it looks even to the first one, to where this row and this row looks good, and then take it out of the border. Especially if you're going to do like me and add border rows here, you're going to add more anyway, and nobody's going to notice the difference. Yeah, I think it looks identical, Mary. And I'm looking at it on the picture. It's beautiful. It's beauteous. Yeah, because you can make up that border difference. And I think, I'll tell you what, you can't even tell now that I've got the border on, but I have noticed that the top border and the top border and the bottom border, they don't look the same anyway. Because of the cast on, I don't think they look the same anyway. I think the top border looks like it's one row shorter. I've been adding a row to it because I don't think they look even anyway. So nobody cares. That's my theory on this whole thing. Nobody cares. Yeah. There's a bit more of a gap. Really. Again, the knitting police are not going to show up at your door. No, and I think with the way that this block works up, you can't even tell. You cannot tell. Gosh, this is a pretty block. But I think I'm going to have to really pay attention to my counts. I'm going to have to, but it is row by row. It was that bouncing back and forth on that last one that messed me up. Repeat. Oh, and we're doing it here. Repeat row 6, repeat row 5. Okay. Yeah. So just measure when you get to that last section, just measure. There you go. They're not getting past the dogs. If the knitting police show up, they're not getting past the dogs. Or in my case, the cat. Kitten brought in another mouse yesterday. This time it was still alive. Mr. got to chase down the mouse. So, yeah, I don't think it matters at all, especially because they have this thing at the bottom where it's finished and this thing at the top where it's open. I don't think it matters. I think if it was finished here and finished at the top, it would be much more noticeable, but it isn't. It's finished at the bottom and open at the top. So I don't think anybody is going to notice anything in the least. In fact, I'm curious now. Obviously, I didn't get a chance to go look at Pinky Jean's. Let's go see what she did. Now I'm curious because she tends to post hers. Let's go see if she posted hers. Here it is, 3 hours ago. Let's see what she did.
For the anthology is in the title, and the link for her channel is in the description. So if you want to see that. Okay, we're on block 6.
Block 6.
It's called a diamond stockinette.
Ooh, hers is bright pink.
Hopefully you can see the pattern in there. I did a boo-boo again. See that? I forgot to slip stitch it off, and I knitted it. That's what it looks like when you don't do it right. Again, no, it was a cover-up. This one went much better than last time. There's counting involved, but I was
She said lots of counting.
Sure that I counted right, so I wouldn't have to start again, because last time I had to start over and over and over again.
See, she fixes her mistakes. Some of us do not. Hers turns out really pretty. Really pretty. I like that. Miss Pinky Jean. Make sure you go check out her channel. Oh, gosh, that turned out nice. Jean, yours turned out so pretty. So pretty. Golly, that's pretty. I love that color, you guys. It doesn't show up as nice doing it like this. It is bright pink on hers.
I think it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
So this is the diamond on stockinette. And I did get the last block, which was the
Oh, golly, hers is pretty. And look at the border on hers. She's going to show one with a border here in a second.
I did not, however, I don't know why.
Yeah, look at the border on hers. Look at that. Look at that border. Oh my gosh, I love the way her border's coming out. Love it, love it, love it. That is awesome. Okay, so make sure you go and watch her videos too. I'm just tickled that she does a little video each week showing her block. It tickles me to no end. Yeah, I think you're right. It is. It absolutely is. It absolutely is. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you're absolutely right. So do what you got to do to make it the size. And that's what we do. That's what we do. We make gauge. We make adjustments. That's what we do. So, but I love the way it's looking out. I love the way it's turning out. Now I got to touch the thing, go back to, it's back on top there. Okay, all messages. Yeah, her videos are just adorable. And she's so silly. She is so silly. I gotta get this thing. I was supposed to do this show. And I've told you guys before, the job that I do on Saturday, it's very low key. I usually I get there and that's where I make my videos, and I do a lot of crocheting there, and it's the craft store. Well, the boss is in the middle of a changeover. She's rearranging the whole store, redecorating the whole store. And I got there yesterday and there was a list of things like this for me to do. And I'm like, seriously? And I have a craft show in 2 weeks. So I had hauled all of my craft show stuff there. And I was going to separate everything out and tidy everything up and get everything in order and get a bunch of earrings made and get everything packaged up. That didn't happen. So I didn't get any of that stuff done. And so now I still have all of that to do, which I was going to do yesterday. The only thing I did, I got two or three bags. I had gone through, what I did was I sorted through the crocheted items and decided what I was in 3 bags. I got through 3 bags because I sorted through the crochet items and decided what I was going to take and what I wasn't going to take. And I decided to take the scrunchies because springtime is kind of scrunchy time. So I'm going to take the scrunchies with me, and I'm going to take the cup cozies that I've got made up, and I'm taking the chickens, and we'll just see what happens. And I'm also, because one of the craft fairs, not the first 2, but one of the craft fairs I'm doing is a plant. It's a big plant thing. I decided to take the bees. I think the bees are appropriate for the plant thing. But that's it. That's all the crochet stuff I'm taking. So just that little bit of stuff. And I'm taking the bags. I'm still going to take the tote bags. And that's all I got through. So, but even just that, tidied up a few bags. And that's all I got done. That's what I thought, the springtime and the chickens. Now, the reason I wasn't going to is because usually at these craft shows, there's 50 people with chickens. But I've got I think 4 or 5 chickens is all I had left. So I'm going to take what I've got left and that's it. I'm not going to worry about making. The only thing I might make more of is, like I said, some bees. Because, the bees were pretty quick to make up. And I think I've got bee yarn right here. I think. And then I got to dig out my pattern. Yeah, I only have one made up. I would have to make bees. But the show that I would really want to take the bees is not in March. It's not till May. So I've got plenty of time for that one. I'm not too worried about the bees. And oh my gosh, I found the cutest charms. They're bee charms. But the good thing was it was a package and it had 12 different kinds of bees. So they weren't all the same. I love it when I can get a deal like that. Because often when I find charms that I like, I have to buy 20 of the same one. And I don't like doing that. Because then if it doesn't sell, you're stuck with 20 of the same one. I like to buy my charms no more than 2 or 4 of the same one. And a lot of times they sell them in a group of 5. So then I have 2 pairs of earrings and then I make a stitch marker out of the other one. So, but I still, now I still have all the earring stuff to deal with. And what I might do is take an I got to look at my calendar, but I might take an afternoon and see if the shop is available for an afternoon, because there's just so much room to spread out there. And then I can spread out in inventory where I just don't have that space. And even here at the table, I've got space, but the lighting is so much better over there. And see if I can spread out over there and see what I've got and work. But I can also do it right here. I've done it right here before. I just clear this because my table, the setup that I'm on is about the size of 2 laptops. And everything I've done it right here on this little space. So I can do it. It's just easier when I've got more space over there. But it's just harder to be away from here even longer. So we'll see. We'll see what comes up. So that's what we got going on. I really like your idea. That's a really good clue, a really good hint. And you know what I have done? Oh my gosh, my eye I've got something in my eye. I can't. It's your finger. Get your finger out of your eye. When I'm getting close to being at my 5.5, I put it in my bag. Here it is. It's in this bag right here. I carried all this stuff with me yesterday. When I am getting close to being at my 5.5 inches, I take my tape measure and I lay it out here at the edge of my table. I just open it up and I lay it out here at the edge of my table. And then I just take my thing and lay it up here and lay it up here and lay it up here. And so that I can just keep measuring and keep measuring and keep measuring. What I keep saying I'm going to do is take an old tape measure, one of those like this kind, but those old, just an old wide one that I can see the numbers really well, and tape it to the edge of my table. So when I'm working on a project, I can literally just hold it up to it and not have to dig a tape measure all the time. And then I've just got it right here in front of me for these projects like this. And like my, the blocks that I'm working on for the block exchange, where I'm, so when I'm getting close and each time I do a round, I need to see, okay, am I at 9 inches? Am I at 9.5 inches? And then I can just put it up here and yep, I got to do one more row. Yep, I got to do one more row and not have to dig out my tape measure and open it up every time. So, I keep saying I'm going to do that and I haven't done it yet. Well, for one reason, I haven't found an old tape measure that I'm willing to cut up. My desk here, I'm not willing to mark it up. Mr. just made it for me, so I'm not willing to mark it up. I could tape even a piece of paper. I could do that on a piece of paper and just tape it to it. That's what I should do. Just put marks on a piece of paper and then tape it across there. Basically make my own little tape measure. We used to get paper tape measures from places, and I can't even remember where I would. Oh, you know what? Every now and again on the inside of a ball of yarn, the yarn sleeves, they've got a tape measure on that too. I should keep my eye out for that. Do you guys remember those? Or am I making that up? Seems like that's a thing. It seems like that is a thing. But yeah, I could just mark that on a strip of paper. Yeah. Do you know what I saw the other day? Was it? Yeah. It was just a couple of days ago. At our library, they have a stand. It's just a shelf where you can drop off yarn, like ends of yarn, bits of yarn you don't want, whatever. And it's like leave one, take one type thing. Oh, I wonder if it would be accurate. I hadn't thought about that, Cheryl. I wonder how accurate that would be. So they've got this yarn where you just drop it off. And I shouldn't do this. I should do it the other way. Like I'm adding on yarn. And they had a couple of, and I wouldn't take any yarn from there, but I'm always interested to see what they've got in there. I'm always looking to see what's in there. And they had this kind of smallish skein of yarn, and I picked it up and looked at it, and it was Red Heart, but it was really thin. It was almost like a one weight. It was called Red Heart thread, and I had never seen it before. And it was a big yarn. It wasn't like DMC thread. It was almost, I have no idea. I've never seen, it was really old. You could tell it came from like some grandma's house, but it was Red Heart thread, and it was a one weight, and it was almost like sock yarn. That's what it was like. It was a one weight Red Heart sock yarn. And I had never, ever seen anything like it before. Really, really interesting. So, it came out of someone's attic. And that was really, really interesting. I left it there. I should have grabbed it, but I didn't want to grab it just to have it, just to keep it. And I wouldn't have used it. But it was really interesting. I'd never seen anything like it before. And you could tell it was old. But yeah, I'd wondered if anybody had ever seen that before. And you know what else they had in there? Somebody had dropped off a set of those looms where you put the thread over it and then do the pick thing. I thought that was funny. It's like somebody gave up on that. I have never used those. At one point I thought I needed to do that. I do not. I do not need to get another project like that going. No. But yeah, I'm going to get a little tape measure and just put it right here. And then, when you're just getting right to the end of something, you can keep putting it up there and putting it up there and putting it up there. And then that's going to make it a lot easier to keep track when you're getting right to the end. Yeah. So I think the key. Oh, okay. So now you're getting the red heart. It's so funny because here you've got people either love it or hate it. And I have noticed the last couple, 2 or 3 years, just like with anything else, the quality has changed, but I don't think it's bad. I use it. I use it for a lot of stuff. There just has to be a product that is inexpensive, and Red Heart is that product. I think it is better quality than they're very slick. They're very slow. But if you don't know how to crochet, if you don't know how to knit, I think they're great for kiddos. I think they're great if you have dexterity problems. But really, if you already know how to do this kind of stuff. And I thought for knitting, they would be better than if you didn't know how to knit. But, really and truly, I picked up the knitting quick enough that the looms weren't necessary. No, and the way that you knit, there's no need for the looms. I think they're a diversion. It's something for someone that doesn't know how to do that. But I think if somebody put the amount of time into learning how to knit, that they do messing with that stuff. Now, if you have someone who's got problems with their hands, can't hold a hook anymore, can't hold knitting needles anymore, then I think those are good. I think that's a good alternative. We work with people with developmental disabilities, and that's a good thing for them. So they do have a purpose, absolutely. 100%. Yeah. I don't know that I think I was going to. Yeah. And the Red Heart, a lot of people complain that it's rough, but once you work it up and wash it, it usually softens it up. And there are some people who literally can't use it because it's too rough on their hands. That's the way I have gotten with the sugar and cream. I cannot use the sugar and cream. It tears up my hands. And it's different colors of it. In fact, I should donate that. I bought one of those pound balls to make bags, and it tears up my hands so bad. You guys saw what happened last year. I ran it through the washing machine while it was still in the balls. Oh my Lord, what a mess. I'm still untangling that stuff. But it didn't soften it up that much. It needs to be washed again. And I can't use it. It hurts my hands so bad to use it. So Mister's been working on untangling it. He's really good at that. He's got the patience. And I should see if Morgan wants it. But if not, I think that's a good idea. I think I'll just take it down to the library because it's a whole pound of it. But I just can't work on it. And it's that particular, because I've worked on the other stuff, okay, but I have learned that the Hobby Lobby's brand of, what is it, Crafter's Secret, that's their cotton, their kitchen cotton, I can work up just fine. But you know what I did? I went to the local yarn store, my local yarn store, which is called, I know this. And I love my yarn store. I love it. I love it. I love my yarn store. Oh, is that right? It ran after you bought it. What is the name of my yarn store? I do get emails from them. I can see their logo. It's got, I'll look up, I will look up Cascade Yarn. Cascade Yarn. Because you can get that at my store. Paradise. Paradise. Paradise Fibers. That's the name of my yarn store. And I went there when I was there at Christmas picking up some stuff I had ordered. And I said, hey, do you guys have basically a kitchen cotton, but in a nicer yarn? And Cascade Yarns has a kitchen cotton. And it is lovely to work with. Well, since then I won't buy the peaches and cream and whatever the other one is. I'll just use, because it's not that much more expensive when you figure out the difference between the tiny little ball of theirs and then a hank of 100-gram hank. It's like $2 more, and it doesn't tear my hands up. And it's lovely to work with. It's lovely on my hands, and you've got twice as much yarn. For me, that $2 difference is well worth it. So yeah, sugar and cream or peaches and cream. Yeah. So if I have to use a kitchen cotton for something, I'm just going to use that. And they have 50 colors, and they've got the variegateds. And I just couldn't believe the difference. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take that brown yarn and I'm going to just take it up to the library and drop it off. I'm glad you guys thought of that. You get full credit for it, because it wouldn't have come to my brain if we weren't sitting here talking about it. And it's just sitting in there taking up space. So somebody will I am so stuffy this morning. Stuffy and snuffly. Somebody will be just thrilled that yarn is there. Right? It is going to be so nice to work with. So much nicer. I switched yarns, right? Yeah, because this is the exact color. Look at this. It is the exact color that I am working, that my original yarn was. It doesn't look like I switched this out at all. And I keep thinking, did I grab the wrong? Am I working on the same color? Oh, Mister's starting up the smoker. He's going to make something wonderful for dinner. I hit such a sale the other day at the store. every now and again, the meat section of our store, and they mark it right in half. And I got there just as they had marked stuff in half. And so I got some pork loins for half price. Such a deal. And then he'll smoke them on the smoker, and oh, so good. So good. So, but I have knitting class this afternoon, and we're going to be making a shawl out of Malabringo, and it's Malabringo, 50% Malabringo, 50% baby alpaca.
Come on, kitty.
Talk about lovely to work with. So I'm very excited about that. And so I have to go in a little bit early because I didn't have time when I bought the yarn. I didn't have time to get it wound up. So I have to go in a little bit early to have them wind up my yarn. And I'm going to cast on Mr.'s other sock. I haven't cast on his second sock yet because I figure I can work on that while I'm at the craft fair. Because, the leg is just round and round and round. So I can work on that while I'm sitting at the craft fair. Because I need to take something with me that is small, that I can, pick up and sit down. And I don't have to count or anything. And that leg is just a 2x2 rib all the way, for 8 inches. And so that's a good project to take. And that's, we got a plan for these things, right? And I'm going to use that toolbox that I got from Joann's to put all of my earring bits and the tools and the earring backs and the bags and all of that stuff is going to go into that case. So I was going to do that, get that all switched over. Oh, I am so sorry that I'm sniffing. I know that's rude, but kind of planning that. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's going to be so luscious. And the colors are a lot of purples, and a purpley gray is one of the contrast colors. And it's a knit along. It's a free knit along, and it is sponsored by Malabringo. So you had to buy their yarn, but the name of the yarn is Malabringo Rios, and the colors were just stunning. And I had enough points. Oh, good, Mary. I had enough points at the yarn store that I only had to pay for one of my skeins. So I got it for $20. So I'm really super excited. And the stitches are, well, I showed you. That's what I had posted on the thing. The stitches, I think one of them is, what is it when it's knit? Is that the garter? So I know one of the sections is garter stitch because I recognize the bumps. And I don't know what the other section was. And then one of them is a real pretty open work. And I was worried about that. But my knitting lady, it's the same knitting lady. And she said, nope, you'll have no problem. She said, the only thing you have to be careful with is on the sides. Don't make it too tight because then it'll pucker up. So I'm very excited. And it's a 5-week class. And so I'll meet some new knitting ladies. So that's exciting. And get that second sock cast on, which I've been needing to do for a while, and get working on that. And gosh, Cheryl, I wish you were coming on the cruise. But I know it's a bit of a hike for you.
Where is she?
Australia.
Just an airplane flight.
Just an airplane flight. Mister says you can do it. You can do it.
Almost everybody's going to take an airplane.
Yeah.
Hers might cost a little more, but
Might be a little bit longer of a jaunt. So, okay. So I think that's it. We're all set for, well, you guys have both, right? Mary, you've already done it. Oh, that could be it, Cheryl. Well, let me go grab it. I got it. It's right in the bag, ready to go, because it's not too much after I'm done here. I got to leave here at about noon. Oh my gosh. I got a couple things. Let me go grab my bag. It's all packed and ready to go. Oh, my bag. Talk amongst yourselves. Actually, it's not packed and ready to go because I still got to get his sock in here. You are right. Smell of Bringo, Dos Tierras. That's the yarn. So we had to pick 3 colors. So this was my main color because I liked all the purples and greens in there. So pretty. And this color is called Indonesia, I think. Yeah, Indonesia. And then my first complementary color is called Reflecting Pool. Look at the teals in that. Oh, it's so pretty. And then my second color is called Pearl. And that's sort of a purpley gray. It's gray with some purple tones. And so all 3 together look like that. And I wear so much gray, I thought this would be a nice group of colors. And of course I had them pick it out because you know me and colors. I picked this one. I said I want this for my main color, and then they grabbed these ones. And then the stripes, you do three sets of stripes. And so so it looks like, just from me looking at it, it looks to me like this is a garter. And then that's the one with the open work. And I don't know. Looks, maybe the other one's garter too. And it's called the Friendship Shawl. Friendship Shawl. That is hard to say. Oh, I got to get my needles pulled. Be a good idea to take some knitting needles with me, you think, maybe? Merino wool and baby alpaca. Garter stitch, eyelet lace. Oh yeah, so that's it. It's two different kinds of, 2 sections, garter stitch and eyelet lace, and then you alternate the colors. So that's how you get. Well, that's going to be easy peasy. Yeah, because this is really pretty. Eyelet lace. Is that what I just did on this blanket? Do I know how to do this already? I think this was eyelet lace. Cheryl, I think I can do this. I think this was eyelet lace. Isn't that funny? Slightly different? Okay. But same basic idea. Okay. Cheryl says I can do it. And then the secret project that I'm not showing anybody. My secret project. Once I get it figured out, I'll show people. And we know I can do this one. We know I can do the garter stitch. Because Lord knows I did enough of that on here. Yeah, because that's just knit. Right? I always get garter and stockinette confused. WYIF with yarn in, with yarn forward, with yarn forward, with yarn in front, with yarn in front. Okay. So pearl, that's what this color is, pearl. That's the same color that I picked, is that one. So I got to pull my knitting needles. I got to pull the sock, get that in my bag, and do that. So that's today. Knitting with yarn in front. Okay. Same thing. Okay. Better put the, probably, I don't know if I'll need that today, because I need that in this bag. I need that in the bag with my squares. With my squares. Oh, and then I'll show you the yarn I picked for my secret project that you guys can't see yet. Isn't that pretty? And this is, that's why I was thinking Rios. Malabringo Rios Aquamarine. That's the secret one you can't see. It's so pretty. Look at the can you guys see the variations in the color in that? It is so, so pretty. That's the secret project you can't see. Secrets. I got secrets. I got secrets. I got secrets. Until I get stuck and I go, Cheryl, help me. Okay, so the clue, the trick with this week's block is counting, 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 keeping track on your pattern, and lots of counting. And measure, measure, measure. Measure as you go. When you get close to that 5 inches, start measuring with every single row. And don't worry about what when the pattern tells you to stop. Just stop when you get to your 5.5 inches. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just stop when you get there. Because you stopped at the 5th row, right, Cheryl? Is that what you said? I can't remember now. I think that's what you said. I'm looking now. You stopped at row 5. And it looks, yeah, like you said, it looks like Pinky stopped after 3 sets. And God knows when I'm going to stop. And Mary, what happened with yours? What did you do on yours? Because you said you finished it too, right? Or did I make that up in my little head? Did I make that up in my little head? Could be. Wouldn't be the first time. Wouldn't be the first time. Won't be last. I am enjoying this a lot. Okay. You got the bottom border done. Even with the things, you know, the mistakes in it and the problems, I am enjoying the process. I am learning so much. So much. And because I'm not pressuring myself, that's part of it. First repeat of row 4. Interruptions. Oh. Interruptions. Interruptions are my life. I'm loving working with this yarn, but I'm also loving learning that even with this yarn, the different colors are working up differently. Isn't that weird? The different colors are working up so differently. I do like this antiquity. I don't know that I've worked with antiquity before, but I would get this again, even over their basic worsted 8. It definitely feels a little different. I think it feels richer, and I would definitely order the antiquity. The colors are gorgeous, and I would absolutely order. And it's the same price. It's the same price as the worsted 8. As far as I can tell, it's the exact same yarn. It's just supposed to be different colors, but it definitely works up a little bit different. And I really, really like it. The colors are so rich, but it definitely works up thicker. So I have absolutely learned that too. But I've learned a lot about this process. Yeah, the squares a lot of, yeah, even on this, look, this one, look at how much this one pulled way in. But you can see when I added the border to it, it definitely squared, because this isn't blocked yet. It definitely squared it up a lot more after I added my round to it. Now, when you're doing your blocking, Cheryl, are you using a water block or are you steam blocking? Because I've only been water blocking, and I'm wondering if I shouldn't steam block these, especially because it's acrylic. Because I recently read that water blocking doesn't do much with acrylic. Is that Kitten or is that your phone?
Kitten.
Is she wanting me in?
Yeah. You should come outside to watch me.
Mm-hmm. Did you get eggs?
Yeah. Not enough.
Not enough?
Not enough. I got 2 eggs.
Do we have a dozen?
No. We're still short. Just a couple eggs.
Couple eggs.
2.
We'll get 2 by the time I have to leave.
Yeah.
Steam it for 10 seconds or so. Okay. Okay. So spray them with water and then just give it a shot of steam.
There she
Hello,
is.
kitty. You want to come say hi?
She watched Joe bark at the doors. Now she figures she can
Come on.
meow at it and get in.
Come up here and say hi to everybody. Your nose looks better. She had a little red spot on her nose for a couple of 3 weeks. Come here, kitty. Oh, you going to get in the bag? Come here, kitty. Come here. Come on. Come up here and get a pet. Everybody wants to say hi. No, not going to happen. She's definitely her own cat. I swear, 3 a.m, she crawls up on the dresser and starts knocking stuff off. Makes us very happy. Okie dokie. I think that's it. Cheryl, have you peeked at next week? I have not. Usually I have peeked ahead, but again, not this week. Chevron seed stitch square. Be lucky to get through this week. Oh, I have not printed. Oh, because next week is our catch-up week. Hi, Angela. So next week is our catch-up week. So I haven't printed off. Usually I print off the whole month's worth. So this is the last one for this month. So we'll get through this one. This is our trickiest one so far, I think. So we'll get through the diamonds and stockinette square. And then next week oh my gosh. And then next week is our catch-up week. So we'll have the overview of all the blocks and get them. Next week is our chance to get them blocked, get them put. Oh, I know what I was going to ask you, Cheryl. I was talking about this to somebody and I wasn't sure of the answer. What is better? So because this is the 6th block, now my row is 5. So next week I'll put my 5 together and my 6th one. So should I attach it like to the side, so it would look like this? Or should I start a second strip and then attach the whole strip together? I feel like I should just start a second strip and when it's done, attach it together. Hello, crazy poppy lady. You don't knit, right? Oh, you're working on a cowl, Angela. That's good. I keep saying I'm going to, oh, I am working on a cowl, but it's a net cowl. Do the strips and then join the strips together. That's what I was thinking. Because at first I'm like, okay, I'm gonna connect that block on the side, and I'm like, wait a minute, that doesn't seem right. Seems like I should start a second strip. Okay. It's too dangerous. Yeah. Well, what are you working on? What are you working on, Poppy Lady? Hey. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. Actually, Poppy Lady, we've been wanting to get a hold of you for Poppy Lady, have you heard about the square swap that Dana is spearheading? We have been okay. We've been trying to connect with somebody on your side of the pond for that. And your name popped up the other day as a contact. And I've been thinking about you for that anyway. And I just wondered if you had heard about it yet. Just a second, Angela. Let me talk to Poppy, Crazy Poppy Lady about this first, and then. So, Angela, are you talking about what you won? Are you talking about your crochet hook? My little brain. Okay, no, that's fine. That's fine. That's what I wanted to know. So what we're trying to do is find a group of people within the UK that want to exchange over there because the postage is so expensive. We're trying to have a US group and a Canada group and a UK group. Do you think there's enough people in the UK that want to do it? And you only need 12. Hey, Steve. And that's why we wanted to know if you thought there would be 12 people within the UK that you would know of. Yeah, I don't know why Nightbutt does that because I do not have that on. I like the emojis, and I do not put a limit on the emojis, but Nightbutt does that on his very own. That's his. He has made that determination. I don't. Oh my goodness, 600 seconds. And I don't think I can undo that, Angela. I'm so sorry. That's Angela's that's Nightbutt's doing. How long is 600? That's 6 minutes? 10 minutes? That's 10 minutes? I'm so sorry, Angela. I did not do that. Yeah, it must be. Just don't put the emojis in there. And just wait it out. Because I don't put that in there. I don't know why he does that. Yeah, absolutely. You don't have to you don't even have to organize it. The only thing that we would ask is if you would share out the video, because she's already got the video made, and we would just do a separate list for UK people. Do you think that do you think there's 12 people in the UK that'd be interested in doing a block exchange? That's really the bottom line. First of all, are you interested? Second of all, do you think there would be 11 other people interested? That's really the bottom line. The deadline to mail your blocks is May 1st. Because Dana does the lists, and she would just have a separate list for the UK people. And so she would send off the UK people that list with those addresses. Yep, there's the square. Yeah, you could take a look at that. The square. That's a good idea. Thanks, Mary. You could take a look at that video. And then if you could post that video to the people over there, to, on your channel, and say, hey guys, I'd love to do this. I mean, you know who your people are over there. You've probably got a pretty good following of people in your neck of the woods. I've almost got my blocks. Well, my blocks are half done. Here's one of my blocks right here. I'm doing a mitered square. But yeah, and that's the thing. Postage is just so much to send out of area. So that's why we're doing US, the Canada. Oh, thank you, Steve. I shall. And I think Cheryl's putting together a group of UK people. And of course, they don't have to have a channel, just 12 people in the UK. So yeah, that's the whole deal. Okay, no problem. Get it. I get it. I understand. I just knew that you were one of the people that we had thought of over there that was active. I'm sorry. I got head crud today. I understand. I was super excited because I had picked this pattern to do, and it was the mitered square, and I have been wanting to learn the mitered square, and I thought it was going to be super hard. Could not have been easier, you guys. Could not have been easier. And I had grabbed this cake of mandala yarn that I have been avoiding using because I don't like yarn where the color changes are abrupt and obvious. And I'll tell you what, you can't even tell where the color changes are on this thing. And it just worked out perfectly on, it was just, everything just aligned perfectly on this particular pattern and this particular square. It was meant to be. And I'm just so happy with the way it worked up on this thing. I'm really, really pleased with it. And so mine are just about half done. And I'm not quite going to get all 12 squares out of these two. So I'm going to have to break into a third one to get that last square done. But that's okay. That's okay. I can live with that. So those of you who are on the fence about doing this, For me, it's going to take, and mine happens to be a 3 weight, but you can use any, you can use any weight of yarn you want. And what was I going to say? Any weight of yarn you want. Grab something out of your stash. This is a great little stash buster. Any weight of yarn you want and any square design you want. A 10-inch, it has to block out to 10 inches. The only restriction is please don't use an animal fiber because we do have people who are allergic. That's it. That's the only requirement. And then it's going to be the exchange. So it'll be in your own country to help with mailing costs. And then, Steve, are you going to play? You need to play. I know you're prolific and you're fast. Hey, you coming up? You coming up here, Joe Dog? You want to come say hi? You haven't said hi in a long time. Yeah? He doesn't usually jump up here. Every now and again. But not usually. Usually he wants to go sit on Dad's lap. Yeah, this mitered square, I'm really, really pleased with. And I've seen a few of them where it's just doesn't have the different design in it. This one's got some front post double crochet and then the where you skip a square. And that gives it the open look a little bit. But I really, this came out of mitten, something mitten. Can't remember it. It'll be in next week's. It talks about the pattern in next week's Finish It Friday. I'm going to talk about it, the pattern, because I had a request for the pattern and I had to dig it up. And it was, she used this in a, I know, I can't believe the way the yarn, you know, just right out of one of those mandala cake. But she used it in a, we use all the different blocks, block of the crochet along with different blocks. And I was just digging around for squares and I saw that mitered square. And the funny thing is the name of the square is Willamette. And I told that to Dana and she got such a kick out of that. She got such a kick out of that. But I still have to, you know, I'm gonna wait till they're all done before I block them. I'm just gonna block them all at one time. I really like this one. I like the color. This reminds sunset colors, and I like them all. I like all of the colors. So if anybody, when you get the groups, when we get our group list, anybody in my group, if you see a color that you want, let me know. I got no problem picking and choosing colors. This one, here's one of the colors. This one, this is the one where I had to change my my cake, my yarn cake. There's, you can see there, right there. That's where there's my color change. Of course, now that hurts my brain. And I feel like I shouldn't send this to anybody because of that. I feel like I'm going to end up with this one. So I got to start a new one, a new square. Yeah. And that's the first time I did the mitered corner. It was so easy. And now the pattern is, I've got the pattern memorized, except the only thing I have to look at the pattern for is those first 2 or 3 blocks. I'm like, okay, now when do I start the pattern repeat? I have to do that. But, yeah. So that's where that is. This is what we're working on this week. This is the one for this week. The hardest one so far. I think, what do you think, Cheryl? You've done a few ahead. Is this the hardest one? Is this the hardest square, or are they going to get a little trickier? Are they going to get trickier? You guys, I cannot tell you how happy I am that Cheryl is in here with us, helping us. I don't know that I could have gotten through this without Cheryl. Some are trickier. Well, that's good. That's good. We need to stretch our brain a little bit. but nothing you've had any problems with. Because if you've had problems, I'm scared. I'm scared. What are you working on, Steve? Did you get all your shawls done? I'm going to start a shawl today, Steve. This afternoon, I've got knitting class, and I'm going to start a shawl. It's not actually knitting class. It's a knit along because, I need to do something else, right? Mister's giving me a dirty look. Oh, the tiny triangles.
Oh, Joe.
That's right. You didn't like that one. Was it just because the color of the yarn that it ended up with?
Oh, my Joe.
I'm curious now. I have to look and see what color my tiny triangles are. I printed out the list and I wrote down the color that each one was going to be. Well, I didn't print out the whole list. So my tiny triangles are the pumpkin color. So that's this color. That's the color my tiny triangles are going to be, which is the same of this one. And I had a hard time with my count on this one. So that's going to be interesting. Oh, I could keep working on this, I guess, while I'm sitting here since I'm behind. Yeah, I know. It just in knitting in general, I don't think I would not have been able to do as well as on any of this without her. Although I have to admit that the double moss stitch won. The double moss stitch beat me. I was beaten by the double moss stitch. And now I have to do something. I have to do, even if it's just, do we have a double moss stitch in this? Was that one block a double moss stitch? It was just a regular moss stitch. Because that's why I knew that this was wrong. I feel like I have to do something, even if it's just a dish rag, in a double moss stitch, just so I can beat it. Because that thing absolutely beat me. Okay, so Steve got his shawls done. And now you're doing some whips. So what kind of whips are you working on? So you're using a DK. Cheryl's using a DK and 4mm needles. It was just too small to see. I hear you. I hear you. Yeah, we could not have done any of this without Miss Cheryl. It's so funny because the knitting needles I've been using are like a 4. And this 5.5 hook feels huge. Yeah. And I'm super... Oh, no. Cheryl's going to make us do a double moss stitch. Because, I was just saying that. I didn't really mean it. All right. There's a diagonal moss stripe square. June 23rd. Yep. Okay. And it's in gold, so I'll be able to see it. Ooh, a waffle rib. That'll be fun. Zipper rib. Bamboo pole square. That sounds fun. The mini dots. I remember seeing that one. That looked cool. Okay, now you're doing an Afghan. A nativity. Oh, my Lord.
Used to it.
Make it as a replacement. Okay. Additional. Yeah, additional. She's doing extras. She's bored with all this. She's bored. So this week we're doing the diamond one, which I'm actually excited to get going on. And I know this is a bit. I have 3 classes this week. 2 of them are at 5:30 in the morning. I have to be there at 5:30 in the morning. Well, 4 classes. We have 4 classes this week. So I have to teach 4 classes this week. But I don't think I don't think my night job, because I know my night job, I think, got canceled. So I don't have my night job this week. That's what's been wearing me out. I've been doing my day classes and then my night job. And I think that got canceled this week. And then, so 4 classes this week, 2 of them at 5:30 in the morning. Luckily, they're not too far from the house. And so I didn't get much crocheting done last week. And then I got to work on Saturday, and she had a whole list of things for me to do. And then I've got, like I said, I have to get ready for the craft fair, which is in 2 weeks. And for some reason, yeah. I ordered something and I want to give it a try before I show you guys, but I think you guys are going to like it. And if you guys like it, I'll be selling a handful of them because I only ordered a handful of them. I didn't want, because if I don't like them, I won't sell them. You know how that goes, because I won't sell anything that I don't like. And I like the idea of it. Is that done? Yep, that's done. Good. Okay, so this block's completely finished. Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to add that on, so I'm not going to keep it long. At first, I was keeping these strings long so I could sew them together like the thing says, but I don't know how they're going to get sewed together on which side or anything, so I quit doing that. I felt like I was just wasting yarn. Whoops, I probably cut that a little short. I can make it work. We can make it work, can't we, Cheryl? And by the by, when you're watching my videos, my Finish It Friday videos and stuff like that, I'm a dork. You guys already know this. This is not news. And I am talking about Cheryl and thanking Cheryl and praising Cheryl and gushing over Cheryl. And I keep calling her Cheryl Wells. That is not her name. I am an idiot. We all know who I'm talking about. Is this Miss Cheryl? Miss Me, You, and Yarn Cheryl. Her name is not Cheryl Wells. I have made that up. Cheryl Wells is not a real person. She's a figment of my imagination. There is no such person as Cheryl Wells. She does not exist. This is who I'm talking about. This Cheryl. So when I say Cheryl Wells, please just ignore that and know that this is who I'm talking about. This Cheryl. I don't know why I keep calling her that. Actually, I have figured it out. So I'm an idiot, but we already know that. I am the absolute worst person with names. I worked at a job for 25 years. 25 years. No, I'm not cheating on you, Cheryl. I have just given you a different name. It's your name. It's your nom de plume. And it's your screen name. And I worked at this job for 25 years. And we had a receptionist. And I called her Beth. For 5 years, I called her Beth. Her name was not Beth. I called her Beth so much that other people in the company called her Beth. That was not her name. And every year at Christmas time, one of the gals would make us Christmas stockings and write our name on the Christmas stocking. They wrote Beth on her Christmas stocking and hung it up by her area at the reception desk. I am awful. Oh, yeah, poor Beth. She thought it was funny. Luckily, she thought it was funny. And the funnier thing was we used to do ride sharing, and she kind of lived just not close to me, but a couple of miles from me. And so we started ride sharing. I would pick her up and we would carpool. And I still called her Beth. And I can't even tell you now what her real name is because I called her Beth for so long. I don't even know what her real name is now. But it became quite the joke. Yesterday in one of my classes, a gal came in that I worked with for 15 years. And she came walking in the door and I'm like, oh my God, what's her name? What's her name? What's her name? I had to wait till she signed in to remember her name. I am terrible with names. That's why I call him Mr. I really can't remember his name. No, it's not true. It's not true. Sometimes it's true.
That's why I call you honey.
Mm-hmm. But I'll tell you what, I know it. And I when I can't remember somebody's name, I'll just flat tell them I'll connect with somebody. I'll say, I am so sorry. I have forgotten your name. I just flat out tell them because everybody knows I can't remember a name. And I just tell them, I'm sorry, I've forgotten your name. Not people like that where I've worked with them for 20 years and I can't remember their name. But it's so bad. I'll be like looking their phone number up in my phone and I'll go, okay, now what's your phone number again? Or a trick. I have learned this trick. I'll say, now, how do you spell your name? That's one way I get around it. I'm so bad with names. So bad. But it's terrible. But yeah, that was poor Beth. It was hilarious. It was hilarious. And I don't know where I came up with Beth. She definitely looked like a Beth. But it was good that she had a good sense of humor about it. She could have gotten very, very angry. And I wouldn't have blamed her. I would not have blamed her one bit. She deserved to be upset about it. Did you get out of timeout yet? Are you still in timeout? Did this thing untime out you yet? You guys got to be careful with the emojis. I have not got that. Angela, are you still in timeout? Because it was 10 minutes. Oh, you're so sweet, Cheryl. I will at the end say, now what was your name again? Thank you so very much. But okay, you're good. You're out of timeout. Yeah, just be careful with the emojis. Nightbot does not like emojis. I do not have that restriction put on it because I like emojis. The only restriction I have on it is bad words. And sometimes emoji thinks something is a bad word that I don't think is a bad word. So you do have to be careful with that. Now, Angela, let's go back to your original question, which was your gift. And are we talking about the crochet hook that you won? Is that the gift you're talking about? My nose. I think I'm going to. Okay. I am not 100% sure that I mailed it. And I'm glad you said something because the other day I actually I was looking at my list. And what I do is once I have mailed out the gift, I delete the emails with the person's address. And I could not find your email. So I thought I had mailed it out. But I didn't see because it wasn't your name. That's what's messing me up. It's not your name on the list, right? It was a different name. Let me look on here. And then when I was cleaning things up, I saw the bag with the gnome and the crochet hook is in the bag. And I'm like, did I not mail this? I literally saw it like 2 or 3 days ago. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I've got to connect with her. So I'm so glad you said something. So let me look here. So what I'm just going to do is send me a new email, Angela. And you've got the, well, I think I can just put the email address right up here. I'm so glad you said something. Send an email to this email address. And make sure you have your name in it. Because when your email comes through, it's a different, it doesn't say Angela on it, right? It's a different email. I think that's what was throwing me. And make sure you put Angela in there. Oh, this thing is dead again. I have such a hard time keeping this. Is this the one that's... No, it's the other one. Can you plug this in over there? That plug-in over there is better. And that thing has a hard time staying alive. So just make sure you've got the name that I recognize in that email, and tell me that it's the crochet hook that you won. And that's going to help me. And then I'll get that mailed out. It's not going to be Monday. Let me look at Tuesday, because Monday I have that. Thank you. Okay. Monday I've got that awful 5:30 in the morning class, and I'm going to be dead to the world after that. And my second class is Tuesday. I'll get it in the mail on Wednesday. Yeah, so those classes are back to back, Monday and Tuesday. I can get it in the mail for you on Wednesday. And then my third class is on Thursday. Oh my Lord, this week's gonna kill me. I'm not gonna get any. I may not get that. Yeah, that's what threw me, I think. It's a good thing that this week is catch up week, because I may not get my block knit this week.
Hey, Joe.
That's why we've got a catch up week built in. That's why we've got a catch up week built in. Yeah. With 3 classes back to back like that. And it takes me time to get those blocks knit, especially one that I really have to pay attention to the count like that. And it's not, I can't do that while I'm talking like this. And I have to get ready for the craft fair. Craft fair is in 2 Saturdays. It snuck up on me. I have no business. I have no business doing that knit along today. Okay, this block is done. Yeah, this block is done. Okay, I am up to date. Done. Edges done. Done. I don't think I'm running out, because I've got one of these in every one of my blocks. Oh, okay. Perfect. I just checked it on Friday. So apparently I'm going to the post office on Wednesday. So I will check it Wednesday. I almost forgot to mail my daughter's birthday present. And so I had to do that on Friday. So I mailed off her birthday present on Friday. No. She is a leap year baby, and she has a birthday this year. So I had to make sure and remember to, usually, adult kids, I don't worry as much if their presents don't get there on time. But this year I wanted to make sure, because she has an actual birthday this year. So I wanted to make sure her present got there on time. That was so sweet of you, Steve. Thank you so very much. And Steve, you did not answer my question. Are you going to do the block exchange? I think you should. I want to see you in that. And I know you're a quick worker, so you can get those blocks done in time. Oh, I just feel like I got hit by a train. My head is all stuffily. And hey, I got my new Jimmy Bean. Is that what it's called? Jimmy Bean? I keep wanting to call it Jimmy Dean, but that's the sausage people. I got my new Jimmy Bean accessory package. So I did a video on that. So that's coming out this week. I've got to do all the words. I got to put all the words in it. I've done the video. I got to get all the words in it. I'm very interested to get your guys' feedback on that. See what y'all think. I have mixed feelings about this. I'm not in love with it. I am not in love with these kits. And I think if I hadn't, I think I'm spoiled with the other kits is what the problem is. So I'm very, very interested to get your feedback on these ones. This afternoon, I have to empty my car and load up for tomorrow morning's. We got to load the TV and the VCR too. Don't let me forget that. But before I load it, I got to make sure the video is in there. I try to keep the video with the TV and VCR because that's the only time I need it. Yeah, the last time when I checked my P.O. box on Friday, all I had in it, everything went right in the garbage. Junk, ads. Credit card. No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. You can get 2,500 points for only $199. Well, with 10 inches, that's not bad. Steve, have them send it to me. I will put it together for you. I'll put it together for you, Steve. I will. So everybody can just put 2 blocks into mine. And then if you don't want the Afghan, we'll just donate it to charity. How's that? We'll donate it to, we've got a place here that is, I hate to use the word orphanage, but that's basically what it is. But it's whatever the appropriate term for orphanage is these days. And I don't know what the term would be. Does anybody know what the appropriate term is? Children's home? There's got to be a word. I know we don't use the word orphanage anymore, but I don't know what it is. But we have, it's out there on Upriver. We bought coffee from them this year. It was the coolest thing. They were perfect. They were, I'll make arrangements with Miss Dana.
Hutton Home?
Yeah. They were at one of the craft fairs this year, and it was so cool. They had a stand, and they were selling coffee beans as a fundraiser. And you could get them ground or unground. And it was so cool. And so, of course, I bought some. And there was good coffee. But the kiddos, they were the older kiddos. They were like 12, 13, 14-year-olds. And they were selling coffee. They had a stand, just like, I was selling my earrings. And as a fundraiser for and they live on, it's a beautiful, I don't want to say complex, but that's what it is. And they have orchards And yeah, they have orchards and they have, farmland. They raise all kinds of animals, and they have gardens, beautiful gardens, and they have a bakery on site, and they sell baked goods and to the community. And a lot of their baked goods are in like the coffee shops and things like that. And now they have, and they have a coffee shop there too now, and they have like a little espresso stand, and so they sell their baked goods at their espresso stand, and they sell the coffee, and now they sell their beans, and it was a way to get the word out for that. But the coffee was very, very good. Like I said, I bought a bag of it. And so I was really surprised to see them there. But yeah, that was really, really neat. And they've been there for as long as I can remember. And it's supported by the church here in town. And but they've been there forever. But yeah, that was really, really cool. Steve's getting coffee. Oh, my Lord. Okay, guys, we're going to go for 15 more minutes. We're going to shut this down at 9:30. I'm enjoying this visit, but I got to get packed up, and I got to get some things done this morning before I leave.
Isn't all your mannequins in your car?
Some of them are.
Morgan brought them home with her.
She's got, well, and I don't need the babies. Thank you, Angela. I won't need the babies because it's a steel mill. But I'll need, and I might have the green bag out there. No, I don't think I do. I didn't, because all the back seat's full of craft fair stuff. I've got the 2 big bags in the back seat. So what's everybody doing? Today is Sunday, right? Has anybody got anything fun planned today? We have a yard and garden show that we were half thinking of going to, but now Mister doesn't want to go.
You don't have time to go to it.
I have time. I will make time for you. We can go at 10 o'clock for 2 hours. That's all you're going to be able to handle is 2 hours anyway.
I don't want to. I'm tired now.
I know you didn't sleep at all last night. So what's everybody doing? Anybody do anything fun today? Hey, you should be over here sleeping on my lap. Your mommy's still in bed too, huh? Morgan went to a barbecue last night. It was a little chilly. We've got cold weather coming. Oh, I can smell smoke. Somebody's fireplace is going. Somebody's fireplace is going. I can smell it.
No, that's the.
Oh, the smoker?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm smoking those pork loins.
All of them?
Yeah, every one of them. 2 of them.
2 of them? Nope. She does not. She is not a lap sitter. She really never has been. Yeah, Miss Cheryl's going to sleep because it's the middle of the night for her. She's so sweet to get up and do this for us. Miss Cheryl Wells with your nom de plume. Are you designing anything new, Cheryl? So Cheryl is working on, it's 5:30 in the evening for you. That's nice. So what kind of patterns are you designing? Poppy lady, you know I have forgotten your name. Christine? Chris? No, not Chris. Christine? Chrissy? Cindy? Not Cindy. Tell me your real name so I don't call you either that or I'm going to call you Poppy. Because in my mind, you're Poppy. Oh, okay. It's okay to call you Poppy? Because that's, in my mind, that's who you are. So I guess that's okay. Perfect. So I got your name right. Ha! Look at that. So Poppy, what are you designing? Because I recall you having blankets. I recall you having corner to corner blankets. Am I completely wrong? And they were sort of fantasy. Am I completely off base? Okay. And then yeah, to me, I like Poppy. And I know why you're crazy Poppy lady, because you do the poppies for the veterans, right? See, I can remember stuff. I just can't remember names. And I'll tell you what, apparently it's a real thing. I did one of those personality where you take those test type thingies one time. And the personality that mine ended up not remembering names was an actual part of my personality. So it's a real thing. It's just not me being rude. It's a real thing. That's why I never get upset if people can't remember my name ever, ever, ever. A lot of people just call me grandma, and I'm fine with that. Of course, I liked it a lot better a few years ago when people would say, "Oh, you look far too young to be a grandma." A rucksack. What's a rucksack? Is it like a backpack? I think we've had this conversation before. I enjoy learning the different terminology from the UK, the US, and the UK stuff. Yeah, like a backpack. Okay, that's what I was thinking. And a lady's top. Okay. Yeah, I remember your C2C things from before. In fact, I think I won one of your patterns one time. Of course, I never made it. You know me, 10,000 patterns. I have recently learned, and when I say recently, I mean in the last few months, that everything doesn't have to be 10 by 10, 10 feet by 10 feet, that you can actually make small things and finish them. All right, Angela, I will get that mailed out to you this next week. I apologize. I honestly thought I had done it. I honestly thought I had done it. And then I saw this bag and I'm like, what is in this bag? And I opened it and I'm like, is that her? I thought I mailed that. So I am so sorry. Oh, that's funny, Mary Beth. You know, I'm going to start calling you Beth now. No, I won't, Mary. I won't remember to call you Beth. Oh, that's funny. We were, in fact, I even remember where I was because I was at Walmart in line at the pharmacy when I won that thing. We were in Texas. And I used to have to go to the Walmart and stand in line for like an hour. They were so flippin' slow. And I listened to a lot of YouTube videos or a lot of YouTubes while I was standing in line at the pharmacy. And that's where I was when I won that thing, Poppy. That's so funny. Mm. Oh, man, it's a good thing that it looks like this pattern is going to be a fairly easy one, because I would not be able to handle anything that is too intense today. I am so tired. So tired. So Mary, are you working on something besides these squares? Because you're doing the square exchange as well, Miss Dana's square exchange. And it seems to me, I remember you were working on something else. I don't remember what it was.
They took a picture of Dana's fifth wheel after they greased it.
Yeah. After they. Ah!
That's
Jaime. I'm like, she wouldn't be texting this morning, but she probably would.
No, that's Jaime.
I know.
He says, truckers are funny.
Yeah. Truckers are funny. Miss Dana, I was talking to her last night. She was getting tired, and so I needed to talk to her as she was getting her last half hour in. I was doing my paperwork, and I kept going, okay, how do you spell this word? Okay, how do you spell that word? Just to keep her going.
I just sent it to
Oh,
you.
okay. This is the picture Mister just sent me. He's like, they just finished greasing. What is that thing called?
Fifth wheel.
Oh, that's Mr. just sent me. He says they just greased Dana's fifth wheel. He's being silly. He's being silly. We must have lost Cheryl too. Everybody's off getting their coffee, getting their day going. So, well, I think we're at 2 hours, and I have got to get some things ready to go to my class. So, if anybody has any problems with this week's block, remember those tips and tricks that Cheryl came up with. Make sure once you get up to about here, start measuring. You may not get all the way through like it said. So just as soon as you get to your 5.5 inches, just stop on whatever row you're on. It does not matter. And just stop at your 5.5 inches. And if you need to make it up, add or drop on your border, that's just fine. Just do that. It don't matter. It doesn't matter. She ended up at 5 inches, or not 5 inches, 5 rows. What are you working on? What are you making? What are you making, Cheryl? What are you making? What are you making? Cheryl ended up at 5 rows on hers, and it looked like Pinky Jean ended right there because it looked like she had 3 solid blocks. I haven't even started mine. And honestly, looking at my schedule, I'm not sure I'm going to get mine done this week. Mine may roll over into the makeup week, which is why we have a makeup week. I'm so glad we decided to keep that makeup week, so that we can get the makeup week done, so we can get the blocking done, so that we can get our things put together. And if you are listening, Steve, make sure you send that email to Dana so that you can get on her list, and
Honey.
we'll make arrangements for your squares to get sent to me, and I will sew them together. Hey, why do you always get tangled up in my bags?
Because he's trying to feel your yarn.
I guess so. Oh, you're working on 22. Okay. Yep,
Does it feel good?
it does.
It feel, Mom?
So I'm going to gather my knitting needles together that I need for today's project. I've got to find Mr. Sock because I got to get the needles for that. I've got to get his second sock cast on today. And I got to get my car loaded up for my 5:30 in the morning class tomorrow. And that's pretty much the rest of my day. I hope you guys have a wonderful time playing. I hope you get time to play with yarn today. And we will talk to you. We'll see you Wednesday for Rad Girls. Wasn't that wonderful? We had all 4 Rad Girls last Wednesday. It was so great. It was a pom-pom moment, and we didn't even shake our pom-poms. We should have. I was so surprised that we had everybody. It was a shocker. We will talk to you later. And again, if you guys have any problems or any questions or just want to show off your squares, make sure you go to the RWR Anthology Cowl, I don't know what to even call this, in the Facebook Messenger place. I think I can list it. Can I list it? I think I can. Let me see real quick. Add. Nope, that's not what I want. Because I've done it before. I have popped it. Oh, here's the link. On. Invite link on. Copy. Link copied. And I'm going to pop it right in here. Boom. Boom. And Mary just did it. You guys are way faster than me. There. It's in there twice now. So, take a second if you want to pop over there and look at stuff, get in the conversations, post a picture, ask any questions, see what's going on. And if there's any changes to, in theory, if there's any change, I saw that. You put it in there just right before I did. You're so much faster than I am. Oh, the Facebook group. I always forget we have a Facebook. I never go to Facebook. It's so rare that I'm in there. But there's a Facebook group too. So, yes, absolutely. Pop over there during the week. If you have any questions, if you want to show off what you're doing, we are there as well. We'll see you guys Wednesday. And as always, hope you get a chance to take a look at my videos. See ya. Bye.